Hello, everybody, and welcome back to episode 3 of the Blues Focus Live Lounge. I am your host, Kieran, and today's subjects we'll be covering over are we in a relegation battle? Is that something we're going to have to do this season? We're going to talk about John Eustace's return to management and to St Andrews. We're going to talk over the playing style that we've had recently, being a little bit more attacking, but not scoring. And of course, the moment most of you have been waiting for, the competition coming in today. We're going to be announcing the winner of that, where we're giving a family of 5 the opportunity to go to their first game against Sunderland and experience it for themselves, the magic that is Birmingham City. First of all, hello, everyone. Get your comments into the chat. Let's say hello. Let's speak to some people. And let's welcome Josh. Josh is my brother. He's been on a few times, and he is known as the King of Waffle. So please welcome Josh.
Evening.
Evening. How are you? You all right?
Yeah, not too bad. Just keep the waffling down a bit today.
Yeah, if you could. We had a few comments last time, and that'd be great if you could keep them down.
Got to live up to my role.
What's that, sorry?
Got to live up to my role.
Yeah, you are a bit of a waffler at times, but that's what we're both good at, I guess. So we're going to talk about first John Eustace returning to management.
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts on that?
It's a bit of a tricky one because everyone's got mixed opinions from him leaving, that he wasn't good enough or it was too early and it shouldn't have happened. Nothing but respect for the guy. He brought the fans back to the club, brought us very close. And I wish him well with Blackburn. I just hope to God that his away record of us sticks and Blackburn don't play well on Tuesday. But I think he'll do well with them. I think they've got some players that he can utilise and his style of play might suit them a little bit better. So, yeah, wish him all the best.
Yeah, the same here. I was massively disappointed, obviously, when he went at first. I was a bit of a fan and I thought it was just turning the corner, but they've got a steady manager there. Obviously, we're changing on to the future now. We've moved on, different style of play entirely. So I think it's going to be a little bit exciting because he won't know exactly what these players are capable of playing in this style. But I feel if we had sat back and the way he'd have expected us to play, it could be a different thing. But also then watching the Sheffield game the other day, the players did look a little bit lost. So it's going to be an interesting game. Like you said, I just hope, John, I wish him all the best, but I hope it really starts after the Birmingham game.
I think he's one of those, like, he seems like a lot of people said, like, he's a down-to-earth bloke. And I think he's potentially got a good chance with Blackburn. Obviously, unfortunately, it won't with us. But I think Sheffield Wednesday is a very key point to show, like, we weren't finishing our chances. We're not scoring goals. We're making, 50-odd chances in the last 3 games. But we're not scoring them. Where I read something on Twitter the other day, John Eustace knows our players' weaknesses. And he could very well use that against us. So can Tony Mowbray get into the players' heads of, you can't let this be your weaknesses. We need to show him that what we've got now is probably the best for the club.
Yeah, and that's we're going to go over something in a little while. Hi, Stuart. Nice to thank you for joining us. He will know the strengths and weaknesses of most of the players. There are a few in there that obviously he won't know. But we also need to experience the fact that we know his weaknesses as a manager. We know he's going to sit back. We know that if they do go up at goal, he's going to sit back and try and hold on to that. He has no attacking intent after scoring the first goal. He is a sit back and hold on to it manager. So we've got that as well, that if we did go a goal down, which we've been leaking a few goals recently for various reasons. But if we do go a goal down, it's not the end of the world. We will be able to progress and go forward and still have opportunities in the game that we could score, hopefully.
But I think it's also important to note a lot of people, some people don't understand the difference of a head coach to a manager. So he has been brought into Blackburn as a head coach, which means he don't decide the team. He don't decide the style of play. He's there just as a yes man to go, yeah, okay, I'll put these players on the pitch, and yes, I want them players, and yes, I'll do this and that. Whereas with us, obviously, the last season he was a head coach. This season he got brought on as a manager. It was left to him, and we had a few games where it was the Norwich game. I know it was one of those where it was a bit like, is he really out for it? But I think the problem with Blackburn might be is he won't have full control of how he plays. So they might say, yeah, we go 1-2-0 up. You have to press. You have to get that. Obviously, they beat Stoke the other day 3-1, so they weren't holding off with the goals. They've got a few good players. They've got Sammy Schmodik. I think that's how you pronounce his name. He's a quality young player. And I think he's a very much like a Hannibal kind of player that Eustace will get the best out of him. And I think there's going to be a few players on that pitch on Tuesday that could be dangerous underneath him. But again, he's only had 2 training sessions before he plays them. So just see what happens.
Do you think Eustace will get claps, boos, a bit of both?
I hope Blues fans show him the respect he deserves and give him a nice warm welcome back. Yeah. Obviously, it was an international break. He never got to say goodbye. It would be nice to see him walk around the pitch after and give everyone a clap. Can't see it happening now. He's a different team. But I'm hoping that fans don't boo him because he does not deserve it. Honestly, what he did with us, yeah, okay. There was a few tricky runs we had, but what he did with us bringing the fans closer, it just shows Rooney was in charge for 13 weeks and ruined 18 months worth of work Eustace done. It showed how key that was. So I'm hoping fans can bite their tongue a little bit, give him the respect that he deserves, and give him a nice round of applause because he deserves it.
Same as me. I think when he's announced, I think we should all give him a big clap and a cheer and everything, but then straight behind Tony Mowbray straight after, I think that'll be the best way to do it. It'd be like, yeah, welcome back. Like, thank you for everything you've done. But Tony Mowbray's Blue Army. They're Birmingham City fans. Anybody that doesn't play for Birmingham City anymore generally gets a bad reception. He got a lot of slating when he did leave on Twitter. This is why we say this. Yes, there are a lot of fans that were sad to see him go, and even more sad after everything that happened with Rooney after. But there is still some fans that would go to a point of booing him because he's no longer Birmingham City manager.
I've seen a fair few tweets. That's what I am obviously following the football world on Twitter. Saw Blackburn made the announcement yesterday, Friday, whenever it was, and a lot of Birmingham City fans quick to comment on it. And I apologise for my French, but a lot of them are like, "Oh, the dirty Villa bastard" and stuff like this. And I'm sat there going, "The guy's done. Yes, okay, you might be a Villa fan. Get over yourselves. What the guy's done for you for the last 18 months, you've had a big guy come in that's well known in football and ruin that in 13 weeks." But just because he's a Villa fan, what he did for the club, he still had passion. He still tapped the badge. He still absolutely loved the club. Some fans just have it in his head. Obviously, Villa fan can't like him now. But like I said, hope him the best, and I hope Blackburn is a good move for him, and I hope him all the best, and I hope the fans do give him the applause he deserves, and a final goodbye that he should have had at the club in the first place.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know whether he'll do a lap of the pitch after that. He might do a clap from halfway even, but I'm not too sure. The benefit he's got of coming back to us at the moment is it's still very fresh in all of our minds, and the guy that we brought in to replace him was awful, and like you said, ruined everything he brought. And I think the season ticket holders, we really felt that at St Andrews, where when the players all come round at the end of the game, win, lose or draw, they all come round, give everybody a clap, everybody clapped them back, to then literally the first game, really, nobody come out and clapped at all. They finished the game, they all went off. People are spending their hard-earned money, and it's all about being that that bond that there was between fans and manager, team, club, everything was building up in the right direction. I honestly wish him all the best. But
it's like Stuart said, that he's a local lad, did his best, deserves a decent reception. It's all you can ask for. Like, putting aside what team you support, because look at, everyone makes jokes about it. Look at Craig and Gary Gardner. All their lives we're Villa fans. We grew up Villa fans. Blah blah blah. Signed for Birmingham City. I am a Birmingham City fan since day one. And then the photo obviously got released of, is it Gary Gardner? I can't think what his name is, on the pitch. And it's like, you're sitting there going, it doesn't matter what team you support. He put the effort in for 18 months, got us, yeah, okay, the ownership was worse, but he got us into a place where fans were going to games and going, okay, this is the Birmingham City now. We'll get behind them, we'll support them. Yeah, okay, it's not the best, but we don't expect it to change straight away. And then, yeah, like I said, Rooney come in and ruined it. I think it's now give him a decent reception, but like you said, straight behind Tony Mowbray. I have to show him that we've now got all our faith in you and we trust you.
Yeah, the Mowbray support is going to be key. We don't want no Johnny Eustace Blue Army. We don't want any of that. Just give him a clap, and then it's straight onto Tony Mowbray. Give him the support, and then give the lads the support, and get straight behind it, and get it over and done with. It's done. See you later. You're now.
I think it's key to note as well that if you remember back a couple of weeks ago when Matt Wagner released that video, Tom Wagner's at the game on Tuesday. So he said in his video, I'll be there for Blackburn, but unfortunately I can't stay for Sunderland. So It's very key that we show him that we appreciated what you've just done, but also show him that we are majorly behind Tony Mowbray and go from there.
Yeah, I think the Blackburn game is just as important in terms of getting behind the boys. They've had a couple of away games where stuff hasn't gone to plan, and we really need to get behind them at home, show them the support. Why aren't we selling out? Why are we just facing a sellout on one game? We should be going, every game should be a sellout. Yes, I know it's a Tuesday night and more people can't get to it because of work and things like that, but we really should be focusing on making St Andrews at Knighthead Park the fortress that it really deserves to be, and backing these owners and putting the money back into the club. That these owners have shown us that they're going to spend the money. They've got plans, and we really need to put that money in their pockets to provide that. They're doing everything they can, and I truly believe that this club is going in the right direction with the ownership, but they're going to struggle to do what they want in the timescale they want if people keep staying away, and that's why incentives like the Sunderland game are important. But we need to get down to Blackburn game. We need to get down to the Southampton game. Like that's what we need to do.
I think it's massive to look at as well. You talk about like the kind of money that Wagner and Brady want to put into the club. And I know that we put out a tweet the other day that shared a post regarding it, that they're trying to look at buying Las Vegas Raiders in the NFL. If you actually read that story, what it talks about is they're trying to do it. They'll do it under Knighthead Capital. So it brings more money into Knighthead, which allows us to spend more money. So they're looking at not only conquering English football with, let's buy a club, let's build them up, but let's also get the NFL involved, which is going to open up massive revenue if they own a club. If this new stadium happens, that's everyone's obviously talking about at the moment, if this happens, I think you look then at the Raiders coming to the UK for a game every year. You also look at the potential of us going out to America for pre-season tours, getting in with the big teams over there, having some places. Like you look at Man United, your Man Cities, your Chelseas, Wrexham, going out to America for pre-season. I think that brings that in, and it brings us so much more money.
And you've got
fans just need to pay it back.
You've got the Birmingham Derby over there as well. What were they called? Birmingham
Legion.
Birmingham Legion, that's it. I remember it's Hammer Down. That's all I remember. But yeah, you got like a little derby we could put in with them as well. Birmingham versus Birmingham. It's exciting because if they do buy an NFL team, like you said, it does open the fact that if they're wanting to build Birmingham as a sports quarter, that doesn't necessarily just say football. That is sports quarter. Then we could bring NFL over here, like Tottenham do, and host that like it. It could be a deep.
I don't know if my phone's gone or if Kieran's gone.
Yeah, so that's where I'd be with in terms of the American football side of things. With
I don't know if my signal's bad or your signal
the ground, though, our current ground, we need to really, really focus on pushing. That's the big thing.
100%. Totally agree. We've got to push as much sales out as we can and try and bring in as much revenue to the club.
Can people still see us? Are we still? There's a bit of a technical glitch here.
I can still hear you, but I can't really see you. But I don't know whether you've disappeared now. Can you let us know in the comments, guys, if you can still see and hear us? I think Kieran might have disappeared. Hello? Don't know what's going on, guys. Can still hear me, yeah? I think Kieran's signal's just gone. It unfortunately dropped out. Kieran's gone. Let's add him back here and let's have a look if this works.
Do apologise.
That's all right.
I don't know what happened there. Little technical glitch. It just went boom.
I appreciate the comments, guys. Thank you for letting us know that you can still see me.
Yeah, appreciate it. Little technical glitch, but that's the world we live in.
But I think it's key to look at. I don't know what you guys in the comments are saying. Obviously, I've seen the comments a minute ago. Someone saying that Craig and Gary Gardner being Blues fans since day one, since the cradle. And then I've seen another comment after, if I find it, where Stuart put, I don't think a Blues fan wears a vile shirt and gives it large to Blues fans. That reaction he had when he played against us very much would give you a different opinion. But it very much is a key point to put out. It doesn't matter what team you support when you're a player or manager. You play for the team that's on the shirt that's paying you, really. So but I think if we get behind Wagner, I can hear you now. You keep coming and going.
Sorry.
But I think it's key, like you said, it's key that if we can get all fixtures selling out and get more revenue coming in, shirt sales and merchandise being sold and just getting behind the club in general and making up for the past 10, 15 years that we've had of negativity, I think they're willing to put the money in and take us somewhere mega. Yeah, I think it could be positive in the next 5 to 10 years. I think we could be lethal.
Yeah, I was just saying as well, that whole moving in with the NFL stuff, that could be they want a sports quarter. Regardless of whatever sport it is, they want to build that. It's not just Birmingham City Football Club we need to worry about anymore. Let's worry about what else can bring in the revenue, and we need to put in the money via going to the games that we can support this venture in. That's the future, but the future's looking good. I'm really excited for it. I really can't wait to see where Birmingham City could go with all of this. And that brings us down back to talking about the games that are upcoming. Like our next 5 games are quite important. We're playing 4 teams inside the top 10 in the next few games. It's not going to be an easy run. What's that, sorry?
Talk about having a tough draw.
Yeah, it's definitely not going to be easy. We're going to be challenging for every single point, every single ball. And don't get me wrong, I don't think we played great against Sheffield the other day, but when there was parts of it where I've seen like clips back where the passing out was awesome, and like they did that a few times. Yeah, not all the time, but you can see it's there. The intent is there to pass it around the back, then to ping it into midfield, pass it back, and then forward, and then get through. That's very clear. Was the intent that's what he's bringing in. So that is what I'd like to see more of, and the creating chances as well. 57 shots we have had in the last 3 games, 15 on target, 0 goals. So we are creating chances. Yes, we are shooting a bit wildly at times, I'll admit. But against us, they've had almost half the amount of shots with 33, almost half the amount of shots on target with 9, and 6 goals. That's a huge weakness. Yes, we're not scoring the other end. We needed a keeper in January. We really did.
I've seen a few things on Twitter. One thing that really annoyed me the other day, and I was talking to you about the game, was I don't think Mowbray's substitution choices for Sheffield Wednesday were good. Sorry, but I think they were appalling substitutions to make. You brought off Sunjic, who was one of the stronger players in the middle of the park winning balls. You brought off Dembele, who was by far probably one of the best players on the pitch. And as much as people don't like him, and I'm probably going to get slated in the comments, you brought off Hogan, who was making runs, and he actually looked in the game. He did more in that game than Stansfield had done in the 2 games before. Now, yes, there's a few chances he could have scored, but the negativity towards players like him, straight away online, it was, Hogan's this, Hogan that. Everyone blamed him for it, and I don't think it was. I think, personally, the substitutions Mowbray made on Wednesday were appalling. But at the same time, there are players in the pitch. That first half with Led and Bakuna and Dozzle all playing down that right-hand side. Led was running wild past their left back. Second half, he just looked out of it. He looked like he'd run too much in the first half, and I think we maybe relied on him a little bit too much. But so, like you said, some of the passing we're doing is incredible. Just need to be finishing them chances.
We always said that this set of players can't play out from the back, and they did show that they really can. But now that's that midfield now interlocking into that defense, so they can get out. The interesting thing I thought from watching the game is they're taking the ball and instantly turning forward.
Yeah.
Unless there is someone right there on the shoulder, they are taking it and literally turning, and that is one thing he's got doing, and you can see it from lots of different players. That's what Tony Mowbray wants from the team. He wants them to be able to turn it, take it, face it, pass it forward. He hasn't got the finishing aspect yet, but man, we're creating chances. We're playing out from the back. It is coming. I feel like we are almost, as a fan base, we are due to win something 4 or 5-0. We are so due one of those where it all works and we go, wow, that's what he wants, and that is what we need to do. But I also think he's still learning the players. The substitutions may not have been the right ones to us because we know more, but he is also leaning on his back staff that have been here for a while. So yes, he's starting to see more of them now, but we've got to remember he's still pretty early days in his tendency, and you can already see a change where Rooney at this point, the only change we saw was everything getting worse.
Yeah, at least we can now start to see the positives.
Yeah, you can see positives. Yeah, it might take a couple more games, but you can see if we can score a goal, he's not going to sit back either. He said that. So if it's working and we score a goal, like imagine if we scored an early goal the other day, that could have been the momentum that they needed. I think at the moment we're shooting, not expecting to score, rather than the other way around. So if we start scoring, I think we might free flow a little bit. And I'm hopeful that we show John Eustace really the attacking intent that we could do with this and give them a hiding.
I saw something the other day. I think it was potentially Troy Deeney was talking about it on Sky Sports, where he said Scott Hogan, if he gets a goal in him and he gets a little bit, everyone says confidence player, but he is very much that. We've seen it before. He gets a goal or two in a game, it gives him that little boost, and he does go on a 3-4 game run where he scores. I think you've got Stansfield, who's outclassed everyone this season. He's just been unreal. And then you've got Jutkiewicz, who can come on and put a ball in the back of the net if he needs to, and he works his socks off. But they're all our options. I'm still wondering, why is Junior Dixon not been given a chance? The guy's unreal in the academy at the moment. Is it maybe too early? But give him a chance, give it a shot. But I think Tuesday I'd be interested to see, I'm probably going to get told off now, I pronounce his name wrong, but Paik and Dozzle in them centre defensive roles. Because I think Paik gives that, against Sheffield Wednesday, every time he got the ball, it was like, right, he was over a 30-yard pass, or he got the ball, made his space, and played it round. He just didn't have the defensive partner with him. I think it was a bit too late, but I'd be interested to see him and Dozzle, because Dozzle, the 2 games he started or 3 games he started, has been unreal. I think he might be a good.
And then you lose Sunjic out.
But you give Sunjic that little rest to. Like I've said it in the podcast before, Sunjic needs that every couple of games or every so often. Just that chance to go, right, just have a breather on the bench for 60 minutes, come on for half an hour, 25, 30 minutes, and then you play him again the next game. Once he seemed a bit, he was on it the first half. Second half, he seemed a bit like he was just out of energy. He was tired and fatigued. Yeah. And I think that's what I mean. You give him that break on Tuesday. So then you know, okay, Sunday, Sunderland game on Saturday, we've got our best players currently at their strongest, and then you go out and you maybe give Sunderland a 4-5-0 hiding. It'd be good to come against a team like that are doing well up in the league and showing teams that, yes, are in the top 10. We ain't going to be scared to come and fight against you. We're not just going to get lucky results against the bottom teams. But I think maybe a bit of a squad rotation on Tuesday, but not too many changes. Be curious when we've got a fully fit squad to see who we start at the back, because I just don't think we've got the right partnership yet. Something doesn't seem right still compared to the beginning of the season when we had second best defence in the league. The same 4 players play now, and we put in 2-3 goals. It just isn't quite right there, and I'm hoping Mowbray can get it out of them.
In terms of going forward, do you think we need to start the mentality of we're in a relegation battle here? We are on 32 points in 19th place. We are a few points above. So how many points is that? So we are, here we go. So we are a couple of points above. Yes, we've got a game in hand against everybody below us, but are we in that? Are we really in that right now?
100%. Like I said to you off camera earlier, QPR, Huddersfield, Sunderland on Tuesday, this midweek, we lose to Blackburn. You look at them 3 teams, if they get results in the right way and scorelines go their way, we go into the bottom 3. We are currently 8 points off Cardiff, who are above Plymouth. So I wouldn't even say we could be potentially looking at top 10, top 12. We're looking at 16th or below for the rest of the season. And I think that just shows it's close, but it's not close for the teams around. They're all very much fighting now. You've had QPR had a new manager. Huddersfield have just got a new manager. Sheffield Wednesday had a new manager. Blackburn, obviously, Eustace has come in. Swansea have had a new manager. Stoke have had a new manager. We've had a new manager. Out of all of them, the only team that seems to be going backwards is us and Stoke. But Stoke start getting points again, it drops us straight back down. And it's a bit worrying at the moment. And 100%, like I said, I'd say it's a relegation battle that we need to very quickly start getting results to take us away from a relegation battle.
Yeah, I do agree. Obviously, I asked the question, but I do think we're in a relegation battle. We need to focus on that drive forward. We really need to start putting the ball in the back of the net. That's the thing we need to do. Let's work out going forward, like the next 3 games, Blackburn at home, Sunderland at home, and then Ipswich away. That's the team in 17th, 7th, and 4th. The team after that then is Southampton in 2nd.
Yeah.
This is not an easy run of games when we really need to start getting those results. But we know as Birmingham City fans, also, when we're playing the teams like Sheffield Wednesday, where we're all going into the mentality of we should win this 4-5-0, 3-0, we'll score a few goals, we'll get back on the right track. We never do. Never do. We never beat those teams around us. However, if we're going to teams like Sunderland, Southampton, Leicester, stuff like that, usually we'll come out with something. We'll play really well and surprise ourselves and go get a win. So I'm not saying that it's not possible. I think it's going to be difficult. But if Sunderland is the sellout, Blackburn, I think we've got a good chance because early days, I know they won 3-1 the other day, but I think we've got a good chance there. Sunderland, hopefully a sellout and will be the 12th man and counteract their form at the moment. Also, you've got that Tony Mowbray knows a lot of their players, their weaknesses, what we can exploit, what we can't exploit. So that's like the opposite of what we got at Blackburn game. And then Ipswich away, I don't see us coming out of anything with that. I'd be hopeful for a draw, but that's where they could go and surprise us.
I think the other thing we've got to think about for Sunderland is there is going to be a specific player in that match who is going to want to stick it to us and prove to us he's not just following his brother's footsteps and he's not his brother's shadow. Joe Bellingham this season has played some good football. His goal the other day, I saw it solo run, awesome goal. I think he's going to be a very big point to prove on next Saturday. And if we can keep him quiet and we can keep them all quiet, that is a key point where we need that 12th man to get behind him and push and show him he should have stayed with us.
You can see that in the reverse fixture. He was always going to score in that game.
100%.
Always. Because he was so up for it. He was at 100% the whole game. Tackles getting stuck in, balls going. He was shooting. Like, he was always going to score in that game to prove a point, especially with how much abuse some of the fans have given him online for leaving.
Yeah.
Even though their family have done so much for our club. But
there is one comment I just want to quickly bring up.
We have also got Pritchard on our pitch. We've got Tony Mowbray in our box. George Hall and Pritchard coming onto the field will strengthen us and hope they can stay fit. Yeah, George Hall especially, that guy's talent is unreal. And the spells we've seen of him really do show, but his legs are made of poppadoms, so we do have to worry about him quite a bit. But
the one thing we did say, though, we noticed beginning of the season, he's bulked up massive.
Yeah.
You see the videos, he looks like he's put that strength on, and I think, like Paul said, you keep him fit, he has got tons of pace, tons of skill. Pritchard showed us in half an hour against Baggies what he can do. A lot of people have seen him for Sunderland. I have seen a lot of videos of him. He's got the ability to put balls where they need to be, get into places, niggly kind of runs. I think them two coming back into the team could be massive, and it gives that Tony Mowbray that massive boost. And not being funny, but I'd love it for Pritchard to play on Saturday and just to score in front of the Sunderland fans just for all the stuff that the abuse they've given. But at the same time, I don't think he'd celebrate because a lot of respect for the club, like what he's done for himself.
My thing is, like, we've got a fair few players coming back. We've got Hall coming back. Sanderson's coming back, where they posted the photo earlier. He's trying to get back up. Ruddy coming back. Now, I didn't think I'd be excited about Ruddy coming back, but others just isn't it. Duke's on his way back. Pritchard, and most importantly for me, Drame. Like,
yeah,
the stuff the players that we've got out aren't all constant first teamers, but you put them in there and you're like, man, that adds a lot of strength and competition for the places that we're debating, struggling about right now. So
But this is one thing where I say I think substitutions were wrong against Sheffield Wednesday. Is he brought Ethan Laird off, and I think he brought on Keshi Anderson, or it was someone like that he brought on for Ethan Laird. My opinion, why are you not bringing Drame on, who is just as much of a threat attacking, but then also would give us the more pace to get back if we needed it? Why are we not bringing him up? Why are you not doing that like swap? Laird absolutely battered them that first half getting forward. Drame could have come on the second half and done the exact same thing. But he went with a midfielder, and I get the point you're going for attacking, you're trying to get the win. But I just think it was the wrong choice. But the way that he's played so far this season, I wouldn't be surprised if Blackburn, it may be Drame over Laird. I was going to say it to you the other week that I think Laird may have a tough chance of being that first team player.
Yeah.
Because Drame's just played incredible. But it's like we're seeing comments, and I've said it for the last couple of weeks. Why is Bielik playing centre half? For the last 5 years of his career, since the first time he come to us to now, he has been a centre defensive mid. I get the fact that he was losing the ball, but you just drop him for a few games. He had the same spell last
I
year.
don't think he gets into our midfield.
I don't think
I generally don't.
I generally don't see him in the team. I think he's a liability at centre half.
Yeah, I mean, the main partnership for me at centre half would be Long and Sanderson. That they proved at the beginning of the season what they can do. It's a very difficult question. So let's go with this then. Oh, where did the comment come in? There we are. What would you say for this?
Ruddy in goal.
Yeah.
Although I do want to make a comment, and I'm probably going to get hounded in the comments for this. Don't care. Etheridge against Sheffield Wednesday. I think his distribution has got a lot better. He was getting the ball out quick. He was finding them throws where before he get the ball, he walked around for ages. The first half, he was getting that distribution. He was giving us the chances to go forward.
Yeah.
For some unknown reason, second half, he went back to his old ways of just slowing down, stopping. If he can play like he did that first half of getting the ball out quickly, claiming his box, and taking control, I think he could give Ruddy a push and he could get a chance. But the second half, the ball come in the box, he let the ball go over him, and then he just stood there and watched it as the player headed it in. So I think there's potential there. We need a new keeper 100%, but I'd go Ruddy in goal. Purely on what I've seen this season, Drame right back. Sanderson, Long, Buchanan, who's probably been player of the season.
Is Sanderson back fully? Is Sanderson back fully yet?
I don't know if he's back fully, but if he's fully fit, I'd have him in the team.
Yeah.
Obviously, Buchanan there. I'd have Sunjic and Dozzle just in front because I think them two play well together. Dembele, Pritchard, Miyoshi, Stansfield. I think that is potentially the best team we can play. And then that Pritchard role, you can float in a substitution to Miyoshi, or he can go out wide, and then you can bring Anderson on there. You've got Bakuna that can fit in there. You've got JJ that can fit in there. I think we've got a lot of attacking options. I think we just need to focus on the defensive side. But that's the start 11 I'd go with.
You say that, and then we scored no goals in the last 3 games. So
we've got a lot of attacking options. Didn't say we could finish them.
Yeah, it's quality of finishing. Like the Blue Boy says, that is the issue. The quality is the issue we're lacking. Yet you have Bakuna pull out an absolute worldie of a free kick or a shot one every 15 games. It's not good enough. We've got someone like Peake now who can shoot from outside the box. That's exciting.
His shot against Sheffield Wednesday, I was off my seat. I thought he'd got in. Like, it was such a thunderbolt of a strike, and fair play to the keeper saving it, but he hit that, and I was like, wow, this guy can shoot. This guy can hit a ball. So
that's what we've needed. Someone who's got real quality outside the box. But then he didn't get in your main team, in your fit team. So it's interesting because I think we've got versatility in that midfield to overload up front, to sit back, and to be in the middle with a transformation team. I think that's why we've got a midfield that we have.
Yeah.
Because it allows full flexibility for the game. Tony Mowbray said he doesn't pick players on their names, on their thing. He wants to put the best team out against that team regardless. So that's what I think he'll be doing with that.
But to answer something you said there, where you're like, yeah, but Pake didn't make your team. Only reason why he's not in my team at the moment is because I've seen 20 minutes of him. You started him against Blackburn and let us see what he's like from the start of a game, where it's going to be the nitty-gritty for the first 10 minutes. We don't know how each team are going to play, where you really see his ability then come out. I think give him a game or two, yeah, he might slot straight in that. He might be one of the first teams that plays on the sheet. But Dozol from the last couple of games, I find it hard to replace him. And Sunjic has probably been, we had a conversation earlier about our current, what we contenders for player of the season. I think Sunjic is up there for me so far, one of my players of the season for this year, because he has been unreal.
It's definitely been a redemption arc, and we're going to get absolutely hounded in the comments, I think, from this. But I'm offering him a new contract when it comes around. I think he's deserved it. On the wages he's on, no, but I think if we could, he's probably one of the only people out of a contract that I'd actually offer another contract.
He's also probably one of the only players generally thinking about it. The guy just likes to play football. I think he's one of the only guys as well that probably would be willing to take a pay decrease.
Yeah.
Knowing full well, if I can stay here and play consistent football and be playing as well as I am, and we get promoted, I'm going to get a good pay rise.
Yeah.
I think he's one of the only ones that wouldn't be greedy and be like, I want a pay rise or I want to stay with somebody. I think he would take the pay decrease.
I think what you do with him, and as businessmen, they'd say, okay, you take a pay cut now. If we get promoted, you get a significant pay increase, like the Pake deal. We all know that's in there. You can play for us now on this reduced wage because of financial fair play, but if we get promoted, we'll really look after you. And I think you'll get the best out of Sunjic. And I think Tony Mowbray is really playing to his strengths. He did that interview earlier on in the year, didn't he? Saying, when I'm playing to my strengths, I know what I'm doing. And putting him as captain the last few games, that's a big statement as well from Tony.
Like I said before, though, Tony said it where he spoke about a couple of weeks ago. I think there was a press conference or just an interview, and he said the reason he made Sunjic captain was because he's putting 110% on the pitch, 110% in training. He's going above and beyond to do things around the club. That's the kind of player you want as a captain, as a leader, where people were quick to jump on the fact that when we played Coventry away, Sanderson was rather out shopping because he'd had this bad foot injury overnight, rather than being there and support his team. There's been games this season where Sunjic hasn't been in the team. We went to one of the games and he weren't even selected in the whole squad, but he still turned up with the team to support them on and still stood by them. Yeah, Sanderson, the club captain, you should be there at every game. And the only time I've seen him at a game when he's been out injured was Baggies, and that was because he was in the away end. And that's because it's a derby. If that was Rotherham away, he's not in the away end that weekend. I think he's in the away end that weekend because Wagner's been in the away end recently, and he's been told you need to be showing support. I just think Alan's put it earlier because we don't have any leaders. I think Sunjic is a leader as much as his English probably ain't the best, and he's a bit of a headless chicken sometimes. I think he's probably the best player to be leading the team because he knows.
I think he's lost that side of his game. I think watching him this season, he's still everywhere, but he's not jumping in, and he's also doing it with control. He's now talking to people like, "No, you do, you go."
Yeah.
Well, rather than
He's
just running around like a headless
what
chicken,
he's doing.
it's like before he felt like he was the only one that could get stuff done. So he was just on it, like, I need to run over here as fast as I can, get that guy, because he passes it there. I've got to run over there. And he made some stupid tackles. Also, being in around more gifted footballers in terms of ball players, he doesn't need to have that responsibility as much to be a ball player. He can. We saw it against Sheffield Wednesday. Those little 1-2s, like you pass to me, I pass literally back to you, but it takes that defender out of the way. Then you've got that reason to ping it. He could just be that little, the one, if you like.
Yeah.
Just receive the ball, give it straight back to the guy that's just give it you to make them space to pass it. And if he's surrounded by that sort of players, I think we'll really see a massive benefit.
You see him when you've got Bakuna, Miyoshi, and Dembele in front of him, and you see them when they bring the ball into him. He's got that bit of confidence now, just to be like, if I flick it that way, I'll just outside my boot, not even look. I flick it that way. I know there's going to be 2 players potentially sat there waiting for it. Same as if I go that way. I think he's got the ability now where he knows, right, I don't need to get the ball and make the space and then pass. I know I can trust the players behind me because they've all got the ability. If I flick that ball down that wing, Dembele's running. If I flick that ball just behind me into that centre part, Bakuna's there, or JJ's there, or Miyoshi's going to be there, and same out on wide. And I think that's the kind of players he needs. But then you bring in someone like Dozzle, Pike, or even Bielik at the beginning of the season, that's that steady head that turns around to him when he's getting a bit losing his temper, which he does get. Sometimes you can see it in some tackles and the way he acts. I think that player there just to calm him down and go, look, just make the simple pass if you have to. And he's like, okay. And like I said, he's now taken the whole ownership onto himself of, he went out on loan last season and played 3 games.
Yeah.
Obviously wasn't what he wanted, has come back to prove a point. And there's people in the comments saying, oh, he shouldn't be, but he's proven us wrong, and he's proven that the whole time he could have played. He just needed the right style of play and the right people around him.
This comment, I think, is the wrong attitude. If one of the players is playing for the manager and is really putting in the shift, and like Mowbray said, he wants players to be a leader on the pitch, be a leader in training, and be a leader around the community. Sunjic is bringing that. Why not give him that? If he's giving the manager everything he wants, we all know his strengths and weaknesses, and they all have weaknesses. That's why they're playing for Birmingham City and not Man City. But it's about what we can get. Everybody else, I genuinely think I wouldn't give a new contract to. But he's the only one that's really proven a point this year, going, let's do that. And if he takes a cut price deal where we can get him in slightly cheaper, let's do that. Let's get it sorted. Let's sort him out and then move forward.
One of the player I keep, and I think it's just because I love the guy a lot, and it's Duke. And I think you give him that last season to get his badges, get him in more like a coaching role in the club. You are?
He doesn't want to coach.
I think you give him one last season just to, if he doesn't retire this season, I think you keep him for one last year because he's not going to go anywhere and do anything massive. You keep him for that 1 year just because of the guy's loved at the club a lot. And I think he's someone that, even though he's 34, he still gets up for every ball in the middle of the box. He's still trying his hard. Look at Hull when he scored that header. He gets the ball at the centre halfway line, plays that ball out wide, and then still sprinting at 34 years old to make sure he can get to the end of it. They're kind of players that young players need to come in and see and to go, oh, okay, he's going to show me at 34 years old how to do it, and I'm 21. I need to prove him wrong. So I think you give him another year, you give him till he's retiring. He's in the end of the season.
From speaking to some people that I know, that Duke wants to do more of the analytical side of the game, and he doesn't want to do coaching. He wants to do helping with the bringing in players and the analytics of that sort of stuff. So joining into the scouts.
You kind of give him a year contract where he can play, but you know he's not going to be in the team every week. But he's in that position where he can get involved with that. He knows a lot of players. He's played in Scotland. He's played for quite a few clubs. He knows people in the game. I think he knows what he's looking for, and I think, problem is Duke's last 10-minute player. But if last 10 minutes you need a goal, how many goals have we scored where he's been key in that point or scoring them? But I think you give him one more year till he retires, and you allow him in that year to experience that side of it and get involved in that side of it, and then you bring him on board in that point.
Let me just put this out there. Who, Luke, would you get in this instance? So you're losing 1-0 or you're drawing 0-0, 15 minutes to go. You've got the players that we have on the wings being able to put in the balls that they could. Who would you personally put in there to get ahead on it? Because that is, for me, the question where I wouldn't pick anybody else other than Duke to stick their head on it. The guy scores goals with his head. And if I need a goal and we're peppering them with crosses, he's the guy I'm sticking on. I'm sorry, I'd have him on and Stansfield, because Stansfield is just score from anywhere he wants, really, if he wants to. And then you got Duke scoring the goal. But that for me is the thing. And this is why we need to, when in the clear out, we really need to get him in. He'd be one of the players, him and Drame. I'd do anything I can to get both of those in the summer. And that's not a fact of going back or staying as we are. They've both come in, proved what they can do, and we are on the move forward with those players. We know what they can do. They know the players. And then next season, you'll see a better side of them as well. So what about you, Josh? What do you think about Duke?
I want to pop this comment up here because, unfortunately, David, I couldn't disagree with you anymore. Duke don't want more game time. Duke has made it very clear that he's coming to the end of his career. He's not scared to admit that. Maybe a season where he's playing full just to get a season out of him, but I don't think he goes anywhere now where you're looking at a 34, 35-year-old striker that's legs are shot and he's any good aerial. I don't think any club's going to be looking at that to be playing every game. I think, like I said, I absolutely love the guy to pieces and what he's done for us over the last 5-6 years. He's been here. He's been through thick and thin with the fans, and he knows exactly what the fans want and know how to feel. And you look at his reaction when he scored against Leeds beginning of the season, the passion in that celebration, which ideally runs with the Super Bowl tonight, his celebration does. But he showed it there that we deserve what we are now going to get. And I just think that comment to let him go, I think that's just, I just disagree with it because I feel like
I think you let Duke decide. That'd be what I'd say. I'd offer him, if you want another season and we can start looking at you getting into this role or this role, whichever you'd fancy, what do you want to do? And leave it up to him rather than the club trying to push for anything.
I agree with this 100%.
Yeah. There is nobody in most leagues that I'd pick over Duke if you put it in a box, other than Ronaldo, who can jump at 30 feet higher than anybody else. Like
Ronaldo or Zlatan, only two players I put above Duke.
You stick him back post, he'll score. Stick him middle, he'll score. Score it at the front. If the guy can't score with his feet, I'll give him that. Like, he scores very few goals with his feet, but that's where I would have him in, as he is that substitute player that if we're down, we know we've got like Dembele and Miyoshi on the wings that can put in a cracking ball, or you've got Laird, Buchanan that can put in an awesome ball. You got people that can play balls over the top. You're sticking him on. If you need a goal, you're sticking him on and peppering him. That's what I'd be doing.
You look at teams as well, because a lot of teams.
For me, he gets a statue. That guy is the most Blues player through and through I have seen at the club. He gets he is a working class man. He puts everything into every performance. I couldn't tell you one time I thought Duke hasn't been bothered today. He comes off that field almost passing out. He's on the field running around looking like he's going to pass out, and then he chases someone down, and then he just, the guy's insane, and he comes back for every corner, and he doesn't ever step. He just, for me, all-round best player I've ever seen. Captain, leader, legend. I've said my bit.
I think you look at Duke as well. So a lot of managers now, You're 1-1 in the last 10 minutes. You've got 3 substitutions left. They're making their ones and they're going, we'll go attacking for 10 minutes and we will try and get a goal. Their defenders are tired. Their defenders have been running around after Stansfield or Hogan or Dembele or Miyoshi, Bakuna. Them kind of players all game. They are tired. They're not wanting to jump against a 6'3" guy who's full of energy and just going to run at them and jump. That's where you bring him on. Last 5-10 minutes, 1-1, you bring him on. And yes, I keep seeing the photo of Gary. The guy went out on his stag doing a full kit. What a legend. But I think he is a last 10-minute player, and you give him, I'd give him what he wants, to be fair.
This is exactly what we're saying, Stuart, is he's one more season. If you want to go work with the scouts, let's put you with the scouts working on that. If you want to go into management, let's help you work through your badges. Give the guy whatever. If he wants a key to the city, if he wants a key to my house, he probably doesn't. But if he wants a key to my house, he can have it. And that's what the club should be like. Whatever that guy wants, he is Mr. Blues. Has he scored the most amount of goals for us? No. But he is a Mr. Birmingham City for me. He personifies us as fans. He personifies heart, grit, determination. Even when his legs are giving up, he's still running, and then he'll get to the point where he gets to stop, and he's like blowing out of his ass. His legs are all jelly, and then he goes and chases someone else down, and then he'll pop up with a last minute header to score the goal. He scored important goals too. Give the guy what he wants.
Yeah, I've seen something the other day that was talk about his header against Nottingham Forest a couple of years ago, and that's just, the guy can score all types. You put the ball in the, like you said, put the ball in the air, he will score from anywhere. Put it at his feet, and it's probably like a Mwamba, and it's in row Z. But
I did see him score an absolute banger. I think it was for Rangers. That come up on my timeline the other day.
Hearts Motherwell, and it's like 6-6 game, and he scores a volley from 35 yards out.
He did have it at one point.
But I think we've got a true. I think he will happily say that he is a Birmingham City fan. As much as it might not be his local team or his boyhood club, I think he will happily say he's a Birmingham City fan, and he's one of us, and he loves the club as much as we do. So, what's your thoughts on John Ruddy?
I think he's the best we've got right now, but he's not staying another season. Like, for me, we're getting 2 new keepers in January. One for main
summer,
number one. We've gone past January. In the summer, we get one in as a number one, and one in that is a close second.
But
I don't think we're taking any risks.
But me and you have had a conversation before. I think Ruddy retires end of the season. I think he knows his time's up. But we've had a discussion before where I said I'd love Marek Rodak from Fulham. I think he would be a great guy to bring in. But you look at this, what's the Wigan keeper called?
The Wigan keeper? Not a clue.
The one that played against Man United.
Sam Tickle.
Great name. You got a chance to bring us one like Sam Tickle in or Marek Rodak. Do you bring the guy in with the experience as your number one and have Sam Tickle come in as a number two? Or would you bring in Tickle as a number one and use Rodak's experience to train him up and have Rodak come in as a number two? If you're going to look at that way, who are you bringing as number one and number two? Because Etheridge won't be staying. I can't see it happening. His contract's up. Ruddy retires. Tickle and Rodak would be the two that I'd bring in. But if you were to bring the two in, who would you bring? And if you were to put them in that way, who would you have as your number one?
I think you if you did bring them in, hypothetically, if you did bring them both in, then you start looking at who's playing best with the team, who plays the best football in training, and I think that's the way Tony Mowbray do it. Who's giving him exactly what he wants in training?
Yeah.
Because there's two sides to a goalkeeper these days. It's not literally just stopping goals, because they need to be able to play football as well. John Ruddy does not play football. He's struggling to save goals. He's struggling to get down. I think we're struggling on that side of things. But he's not a footballer. Where I think with players like Rodak and Tickle's very early on in his career still, where you could literally bring him up. He's been brought up with that sort of football, and then you've got that opportunity. But I think you bring him in and let him fight, and that's the thing here.
I just saw this one; it just popped up. I think you've got Ruddy, Etheridge, Long, Mark Roberts, Sunjic, Duke, Hogan. There's someone else. Who else you got out of contract this summer?
There's loads of them.
There's 11 players. There's 11 players in total. That's 7 of them I know. And other than Duke, who I'd be sad to see. Honestly, the way that he has played this season, Sunjic. Keshi Anderson, that's another one. But yeah,
Gary
go back
Gardner.
onto Craig Gardner, yeah. But
Gary Gardner.
Yeah, both of them, you know.
You've got, hang on, Sunjic, which I'd be sad to see go. You got Hogan, goodbye. Gary Gardner, goodbye. Mark Roberts, goodbye. Duke, one more season and give him what he wants. Kevin Long, generally think goodbye. I think he's a goodbye. Keshi Anderson, not done it for me this season. So goodbye. Marcel Oakley, goodbye. John Ruddy, goodbye.
Just reading this one from John Eustace's brother Richard. Rodak has been number 2 for Fulham for a few seasons. Does only want to be number 1 if he moves. I agree. But yeah, he's got to earn it. Is there a reason why he's number 2? And he's not playing at Fulham. But at the same time, you bring in someone young like Tickle. Is he going to want to come in and be a number 1 at Wigan, fighting for promotion, get promoted, and then come to a team that's fought relegation for the last 6 years and be number 2? Don't think it happens like that. The only way I can see it is you bring in a number 1 like Rodak, and I'd be interested to see Brad Mayo, see what he could do, being around the first team quite a bit. Someone we've already got in, someone young. He's currently in the first team final at the moment because we've got no other keepers. So I would be interested to see what an experienced goalkeeper that can help him. Maybe a Ruddy going into coaching and helping him. Someone like him, see what he could develop to become and go from there. But
for me, I'm going to find this quite interesting. In terms of players that have played better than others this season, if we were to draw the player of the season right now, and I want to know in the comments as well, who would you pick for your player of the season? You get 1, not 3. Who would you pick?
Who would I pick?
Yeah.
Oh, you say pick 1, not 3. I'm going to give you the 3 names that I'd put in the top 3, and then
I knew you'd do 3.
Yeah, but I'll give you the 3 that I'll put in the top 3, and then I'll tell you how I'd pick 1. So I'd have Buchanan, Sunjic, and Stansfield. And like the comments are saying, Drame would have been close up there, JJ would be close up there. But just for the fact that the guys came into a club that he could have left in January very easily, and he's gone, no, I'm staying. And the passion he's given us, I'd go Stansfield.
Yeah.
Very closely followed by Buchanan or Sunjic. But
for me, if we're talking around all-round impact, Stansfield's goals have been fundamental. In terms of players that have come in and surprised me, just fit in the team and I'd do anything for, would be Buchanan. I think we really missed him, like when he was out, and he just brings such a different dimension to the team that we don't really have cover for. And
this is a comment I've just seen, and it's just made me think. You'll see why. How long's Alfie Chang got left injured? Because he was incredible when we saw him at Cheltenham.
He was good but that was against Cheltenham pre-season.
But he played a few good games up to then. I think he could be very key coming back in. Someone put Bakuna. I think that Richard Eustace Barmy Army, Blue Army. Sorry, Reed.
Sorry, Richard, you can't come on a stream like this, a Birmingham City stream with a last name like Eustace, and not expect some sort of link. But
JJ, a lot of people looking at JJ as a player of the season. I probably wouldn't go player of the season, but 100% young player of the season. I think he's had an incredible season so far, and he's definitely improved the aspect of the attacking side of his game. But I think the last couple of games, since the whole Atlanta being interested in the January window closing and not going, said to you yesterday, I think he's got a bit lazy. And I think he wanted to move. I think he wanted to move necessarily not to get away from Birmingham, but to kind of boost his career. And I think in the last couple of games, he's not really been there. And I think you ruin your season so far with that kind of attitude. Gary's just put Stansfield young player over JJ. Stansfield's player of the season, mate. He's got a bit. Lee Camp, why not? It's worth a shout.
Why not? Cheeky time waste. So 11 players out of contract, some supposedly on big money. I'm hoping we stay up, and Tony Mowbray is given a decent budget to rebuild, but hope it goes better than when Redknapp was in charge and given the checkbook. And I'm going to comment on this first. I think the scouts we've got in now and the scout layout we've got is significantly better than it was before. The owners are businessmen, not just throwing money to survive. And Harry Redknapp was, yes, it worked, but I think he was such a toxic cancer to our club in terms of what he come in and did in terms of contracts for players that are just terrible. I think it can only get better. Tony Mowbray has a way that aligns with our scouts in terms of the way he wants to play. And I think we're going to have a really exciting rebuild. And I think they're able to do like pre-contracts, especially through Europe and stuff now. So I personally think day one of the summer transfer window is like the transfer window is open now. And then we go, here's our first player. And I think that is the way the club go about it. Like instant impact. They've got something sorted. Day one, bang, we've signed a player. Here we go. And rather than last minute scrambling like we were with Harry Redknapp.
Yeah, totally agree. I think I saw something the other day, and I might be wrong on the numbers. I'm pretty sure it's not far off about 20 million worth of contracts out at the end of the season. Something stupid like that. Mm-hmm. That's a ridiculous amount of money that we're saving at the end of the season on contracts. And like this comment says here, we will have money to spend in the summer. I think Tony Mowbray knows the kind of style he wants to play, the kind of players he wants. He's already looking at the players he wants. And like this one says, if Paik, Pritchard and Dazal are markers for that, then we should be excited for next season. The bit that's bothering me at the moment is what division we're going to be in next season, because you can have the pull of, we've got new owners, we've got Tony Mowbray in charge, we're going to go for a big push next season. No good if you get relegated and you're in League One, because then players go, actually, that contract you've offered me, I'm all right, thanks, mate. So I think...
Not only that, any players might have a relegation clause in as well. Yeah. To be honest, like any players that we've just signed.
But I think you look at the business he's already done in the space of 20 days, or whatever it was, with the January transfer window. I'm excited for next season if we stay up, and I think he's not going to be scared to tell people no. And, I want to come and talk to your boss at Gaffer about a new contract. Unfortunately, you're not in my plans next season. Yeah, you're in the plans this season because you're already here. But Hogan, I think he plays him now to try and get a few goals to try and get us a bit of money in the summer. I think Mark Roberts, the same thing. He plays him now just to get a few games under his belt, get a few clean sheets maybe, and raise his price in the summer. But he's going to have a big clear out, and he ain't going to be scared to tell people to leave.
This is Gary again asking some on fire questions tonight. So thank you, Gary. I don't believe that's the reason we didn't, but I do know from speaking to the scouts that the day after the transfer window ends, they have a window review. So that's basically anybody that might have been available in a summer. Did they move? Did they change? Blah, blah, blah. Or did those teams bring in someone that could potentially replace them? So like if they're out of contract later on, did those teams bring in their replacement already so we can act fast, move and pre-contract? And that was the day after the window closed. So it was, yes, I think they're already well ahead on some lines for the summer, let's say. But I don't think it's the reason we didn't bring any in. I think that Mowbray would have believed putting Bielik back there would have given us the cover whilst we're needing cover in the defence. And with the play going forward, I think watching Mowbray in those first few games, he was so annoyed with every time Bielik got the ball, he turned and passed it backwards. And I think what he's done is sticking back to his original position that he played in Arsenal to show him that we're passing forward. He's also now a player that can ping 30, 40-yard passes out if we need to. So I think that works. It's just his defending that needs work. But
it's more his positioning. Like some of the crosses the other day, he just seemed to be... He follows the player too much rather than working out like, oh, okay, if I go over here, I've got to then rely on long covering and kind of covering him. I think he just needs to... He needs someone like Sanderson next to him because he played a couple of games and Sanderson played well. That will talk to him and be like, no, don't go here, stay there, and talk with him. I think Long does that, but I just don't think he's quite got... I wouldn't say necessarily the respect, but like the... Sanderson's your captain. He's kind of like your boss on the pitch. I think he's got a bit more respect for Sanderson and he listens to him and understands it. But like Stuart said, we've still got Rotherham, QPR and Huddersfield all to come. All three teams below us at the moment.
And we've got a game in hand.
Against Middlesbrough. Yeah. But them three fixtures are survival fixtures. You go and lose two of those three, or even losing one of those three. But losing two of those three, and it's not a night for us. We're in League One next season. We need to go to them, and we need to get 9 points from them three fixtures because that's literally what we need to do to stay up.
Gary, chatting absolute chat, truth again. Gary, we'll get you on the podcast at some point. Message us, and you can come on and speak to us in the next one maybe, and put your thoughts across. He is, like you just said, marking space, and rather than having that instinct of this player's going to run here, it's going to run here, he's just making the safe spaces, and that's what's showing him up, I think.
He's a man-to-man midfielder. He likes to mark his man. He knows who his man is, and that's what it is. That's the problem when you then step back into defence, is he's a man-to-man defender and will literally follow a man around. I watched the Sheffield Wednesday game the other day, and he followed the guy around the pitch, and he won the ball back at left wing position. And I was like, how are we on the defence? And Bielik, our centre-half, is winning the ball at left wing because he was just following the guy everywhere. He weren't then like, okay, he's gone 3-4 yards ahead of me. I'll drop back into centre-half and I'll stand here and I'll pick up the next guy that comes across. He just followed the guy and he won it over here. And I was like, okay, you've won the ball. But then he turned and he was like, well, what have I got to do now? And all he did was just hoof the ball upfield and then run back into position. I think that's the problem. He's got to go from man to man to looking at zones, looking at space and looking at danger and just being a bit more clinical and impactful rather than just following around like a headless chicken.
In terms of going forward, let's start ramping up for what is coming at 10 o'clock. We are going to get into the announcement of the winner of the competition. But let's first of all talk about that Sunderland game. What do you see from that? I know it's a more than one game away at the moment, but with all the fans there, I'm going to quote someone now at 91xmh on Twitter. has been doing this running commentary. He's been counting how many tickets are left from the map on the sales hub. He said there's 1,362 tickets left, and that was at 8:15. That's not a lot. We're getting there. The Upper Gilmerick needs to be opened yet, but we're getting into a position now where that could be a sellout, and that could be the real difference. So, what are people's thoughts on tickets? I know this incentive has been brought in to help people afford it. Now, as season ticket holders, we've not really noticed it this season, but there's a lot of people saying tickets are expensive. I personally think it's a directive from the club to say this is what's going to happen. Your tickets are going to be £30-40 a match, or you can have a season ticket and it'll be £20 a match, and that guarantees more people at every game. Like, I think that's the directive, and that's the way it'll go. That's the way American football works. In America, in their ticketing system, they have a season ticket holders up here and then individual tickets here, and not everybody can go to every game. But if I pay for my ticket monthly, I know with the prices they are, as long as I attend one a month, my ticket's paid for. So I didn't know that's why the Upper Gilmerick wasn't on sale. So that's good. I know there was 3,000 tickets given out to local schools. I didn't know that's where they were sticking them. But so there literally is 1,362 tickets left. So that's quite exciting. That's not a lot, guys. And the reason, obviously, we're speaking to this is we are giving fans the chance to win the opportunity for a family of 5 to win tickets to the Sunderland game.
I can't have it left. So Gary's just put this comment in saying, "Eat Blackburn and we'll sell out." Stuart replied with, "Cannibalism is gruesome, but we'd all watch."
It'd still be better than some of the football we've watched over the last, as Birmingham City fans, but we wouldn't pay to be there. Apparently, that's what we're finding out. But Thomas, what is everybody's expectations of what the ticket prices should be?
I'll give you my thought. So, going back to when we were obviously younger and we were going down and we were in the Tilton, I know that for this season alone, we haven't seen kids for £1. That is massive. I think if you're a student, we had a conversation with someone earlier who's a student going to the game. There should be a price for students that's a little bit cheaper than adults.
Mm-hmm.
But there's nothing for them. You could be a student at 25, 26, 27, 28, still at uni, and you're having to pay £35 or some tickets are. I get, obviously, everything in their life goes up, but I think it should be £20 a ticket, £25 a ticket max for an adult. I think when you sat there going 35, £40 a ticket for a home game, I think that's ridiculous. But I think there should be, across all football, whether it's Premier League, Champions League, Championship, League One, League Two, FA Cup, Carabao Cup, whatever it is, I don't think you should be charging more than £25 a ticket. I think you see a lot of lower league teams like us and maybe like your Derbys, your Wigans, your Portsmouths. You max it at £20 a ticket and they're selling out each week because people can afford to go. And that's at an adult price. That's expensive. You look at then, I know you get a age category underneath, which I know is normally like 19 to 22 or something like that, as is. You look at £15, £12, £15. You look at 16 to 18 or 16 to 21, £10, and you look under that £5, kids for £1 every now and then. I just think it's absolutely ridiculous, the pricing, and I don't agree with it. I know they say get a season ticket, it works out at £25 a month, but not everyone's got £400 up front to pay. Not everyone's got perfect credit to go and finance them. So I think it's just, there's got to be a cap on football, and the FA have got to do something about it, because it's not just the
Paul, this is why this chat comes into it. Both of our first game were kids for £1 games, and that Mine definitely was. I'm not too sure about you. I thought it was the same game, but
What game was yours?
Portsmouth at home.
Yeah, and we came into the game 3 minutes late, and Jermaine Pennant scored.
Yeah,
First game.
It was. That was your first game, yeah. But Kids for a Quid is somewhere where you're given those opportunities, and they're on about getting the support back in from the youth. I feel like the club have missed a whole generation, and like from our sort of age or his age to like modern, I think the club have lost that touch with kids. So the next generation of adults are going to be other teams fans, and then they need to really build in now youth, because in 5 years' time, those youth become adults. If they've been supporting the club for 5 years, being able to do things like Kids for a Quid and stuff like that, they're then buying season tickets. Then they're a lifelong fan where they've got to bring that in, and I think that's what they're going to do. Also, with this experience where they're bringing all these fan groups from around the UK, I think they're trying to get a gist and understanding of where fans are coming from. This fits in with this. This is one of the things I think they're working on. Let's find out, are you from the Midlands? Are you from here? So they can start putting on more acceptable things, and maybe they'll do like a match day price. So you will pay 35 quid, and that will be your ticket and your coach from a specific place, let's say in Devon. And if there's enough demand there.
I think as well, you look at, obviously, Gary saying he's from Devon. You look at, say, for example, you just go Gary coming to game alone. You got £20 for your ticket. You're probably looking at 30, 40 quid, if not more, in fuel. Then you've got food whilst you're here. And then if you go into the club shop and you want to buy anything, it goes from being, just £20 a ticket to a £100 day out.
Mm-hmm.
And some people haven't got that. Where I seen this comment by Luke, and I think this could be absolutely key and vital. Why are clubs not doing an adult and a child ticket for a set price? If you do an adult and a child ticket, 30 quid, people are starting going 15 quid a ticket technically, or £20, £10 ticket. Yeah, I'll go. Because you're getting 2 tickets for what you're currently paying for one. I don't know if this is what Luke means by this, adult and child 25 quid, but you could look at, you see a lot of people like mums, dads, and 2 kids go into games. Like, for example, we've done 5 tickets. Why are they not offering like a discount on? Oh, okay, you brought a family of 4. Okay, yeah, okay, we'll give it you for 40 quid, £10 ticket. And I think you start putting them kind of deals together where you go family of 4 for this price, and then you start getting more families coming involved. Someone's put here that you don't get many 16 to 18s turning up at games anymore. You don't see many 13 to 18 going down home games. It's because
that's that generation we've lost.
Yeah, but that's also for the fact that the parents don't want to take them because it's too expensive for the parents. But if you put an offer on where a 13-year-old can turn to his dad and go, "Dad, can we go down the football this weekend?" Blues have put a deal on where we can get both our tickets for 25 quid. That parent starts going, "Okay, that's normally the price of mine. Yeah, I'll go. Sound. That's fine." And it works well. But then it's when you start getting the stupid part where they're like, 2 tickets, 50 quid, and it ruins it again. And like I said, it's the same for the price as well. Stuart said it here, with other things in life, not just the football. Congratulations, Stuart, first of all, and getting married next year. And with house and everything, you don't know if you can get a 25, 26 season ticket. I don't know how long you've had a season ticket, Stuart, but we've had one for, out of the past 20 years, I think we've had it for 15, 16 years.
Yeah.
Where are you rewarding us? Okay, you've been a season ticket holder the last 20 years, 15 years of that. We'll give you a 10% discount on your season ticket.
Yeah.
And you reward those loyal fans. You go, Gary's put, I was a season ticket holder for 10 years until I moved here in 2005. 10 years, but if they turn around to Gary and go, your season ticket's meant to be 400 quid, but we'll give it you for 350.
Yeah.
I know it's only 50 quid, but it makes people go, actually, they value me because I've been going for a few years, they give me a discount. And they should be looking at stuff like that where you can get rewarded for the more you go. Same with away games. You have to go to a set amount of away games to be able to get a membership. But then they should be looking at it and going, well, we'll make it more accessible because I think last season it was 3 games for a bronze.
Mm-hmm.
Not many games are going to general sale anymore because we sell out, and we have probably the best away fans in the league, if not one of the countries. But things like I said, things like your tickets, your shirts, your food, your travel, it's just too expensive for people. And I can understand why people don't want to go. And I think the club needs to look at that and go, actually, we can make something here that will bring fans back and show the loyalty to us.
And this is where the Sunderland initiative comes in, basically. Starting to wrap this in. This initiative is something I think what they want to do is put on an offer like this. Do we sell out the ground? They've not seen it. If the offer is there, do we do it? Because they might make more from doing this initiative and filling the ground all round than if they just did what they've been doing. So I think this is a test of the waters to see, okay, let's sell it out. Let's see how much money we make on that game. And then we'll work out if we can do the initiatives again. And I genuinely think this is what it's going to be. But this initiative has allowed a lot of families to get involved. This is the initial reason why we've put this together, to get a family of 5 to a game, because it is expensive for a family to go now. And if we can give that opportunity for someone who they maybe attend their first game, or they've got other battles going on in life and they've got costs going elsewhere. So a family of 5, that's a lot of money to put to a football game. And that's why we've come up with this, to try and get a family, give them a match day experience where we can give them that game under an initiative. The initiative has helped us be able to do this. But I think that's exactly what it is. Let's sell it out. Give the as businessmen, from my point of view, I'd do something, I'd try it, I'd see if it works, go back, do a review on it. If it worked, let's do it again. Let's do it every game. And do that. Or let's do it 1 in every 3 or 4 games. Let's do that. If it really does work and they make more money. So they're going to sell the crowd out. Are we going to sell more shirts? Are we going to sell more food inside the stadiums? Are we going to do this? Are we going to do that? That from a business point of view is just as important. So that leads us on to getting the announcement done, really. So we've obviously had a lot of people come in and apply and do all the things needed to be eligible for the giveaway. We've been given lots of messages, lots of support, and we thank every single one of you. We wish all of you good luck, but we will be paying for a family of 5 to go to the Sunderland game, and it's announcement time. So let's see who it is. Are we ready, guys? So here we go. Here it comes. First thing I want to say is just sorry for that editing. I am terrible. I don't do that very often. But big congratulations to Davy J 1979. You are the winner of the tickets. So you and your family will be able to go to the Sunderland game. I will contact you and run you through what we need to do. The ticket is for 5 tickets, 2 adults, 3 children, and 3 adults, 2 children. And there's going to be a couple of other little things that we may see what we can do. But this is what it's all about. Fans sticking with fans and really supporting each other. So congratulations again to Davy J 1979. You and your family will be enjoying the Sunderland game.
Congratulations, Davy.
What we'll do is we're going to start wrapping up in a moment. But can we just do a little initiative and just everybody go on and comment at Davy J 1979? Is he in here? Davy, are you in here? Davy J.
I think you'll find it was the off Instagram, which is the one thing that we're not live on.
That'd be that.
I did read earlier. We'll be speaking to some people. Apparently, as of next podcast, which is brought to you on the 25th.
2 weeks today, so the 25th.
25th. Apparently, the group we use have now allowed us to stream live on Instagram. So we hopefully will be streaming live on Instagram as well as on here. Wherever you're watching now, whether it's YouTube, Twitter, or Facebook. So hopefully we can get Instagram as well, and we can catch them on there. But I think Davy J 1979. I think it was an Instagram one, which unfortunately, unless he's on Facebook and watching it, I don't think he'll get us. So it might be just a message to him just to say, look.
Yeah, we'll reach out to him.
Yeah,
but
we'll keep you all updated as well. We'll let you know that we've contacted him and try and get a bit of a reaction for you to see how he responds to that. So
yeah,
keep your eyes on social media.
It's a huge thing for us to be able to be in a situation where we can do this for people. It's potentially going to give him and his children a great day out. I'm hoping for a win for them to experience it as it is. But a sold out St Andrews is something that all of us have been waiting a long time to experience again. So come on, let's get those last 1,362 tickets sold. Sorry if you didn't win this draw. However, keep an eye out. There may be future things to come with that. And we'll start wrapping down. So I want to thank you all for watching. I want to thank Josh for being on today and supporting. I want to thank several of you in the comments for coming in and pulling through. Gary, you've been great. We'll message you and try and get you on directly. And thank you all. Thank you for commenting, taking part, keeping the conversation flowing. But the conversation doesn't stop here. Keep an eye on the Blues Focus socials and the Blues Focus Live Lounge. If you don't already, give us a like and subscribe. We are on Insta, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube.
And TikTok.
And TikTok. We're on TikTok too. So get following, get liking, get commenting on our posts, and really get the engagement between us fans going, and we can bring more better things for you. Congratulations once again to @Davy1979. We'll see you at Sunderland for the football, and keep right on, everybody. Thank you for watching.
Keep right on.